Today I want to show you how to use Microsoft Excel to create confidence intervals, something that's very common in inferential statistics. And this one in particular is going to be using a t-score, and I'll explain why in a little bit. But the question we have is a group of scientists are attempting to find the average number of blossom beetles in a large field. By checking plots measuring a square yard, they found the following numbers of blossom beetles. Calculate the average number of blossom beetles per square yard with 95% confidence. And so here's our data set starting in cell A6 going down to A29. These are the number of beetles they found in these square yard plots. Okay. Now, to do a confidence interval, there's a few things we're going to need. We're going to need to know a mean. We're going to need to know some sort of standard deviation. We also are going to need a sample size. So we'll start with that. All right, so to calculate the mean, this is pretty easy. We just say average equals average. And we're going from A6 down to A28. So you say equals average A6 colon A28. There's my average. My standard deviation, since I only have, well, let's see, how many things do I have? Let's do the sample size. So it'll be equal count A6 down to A28. So we have 23 things. Since I have less than 33 things, I think we're better off if we use sample standard deviation. So that's sdiv dot s A6 to A28. And so there's my sample standard deviation that I'll have to use. Okay, so from there, we're going to calculate my confidence interval. So for that, we're going to need, so let me write that. So here's my confidence interval. I'm going to need my significance level, or my confidence level and my significance level. We call the significance level, we call alpha. Because this is a small sample size, so if I have a sample size less than 30, then I'm going to want to use a t-score. If it was greater than 30, I would use a normal distribution. And I need an error bound for the mean, which we call EBM. And it's an error bound for the mean because we're testing for the mean. And then so eventually I'm going to want my sample mean minus my EBM and my sample mean plus my EBM. All right, my level now is 0.95. So alpha is 1 minus that, which is F6. Okay, so I have my alpha is 0.05. That means when I'm done, I'll have a 5% chance of being incorrect. Now for my t-score, I'm not going to use a table here. I'm going to use Excel. I'm going to use t.inverse. And I need a probability of being this value or less. So that's going to be a 97.5% probability. And the degrees of freedom is my count, which is C10 minus 1. So there's my t-score. Again, I said 97.5 because at the 95% level, the 95% is in the middle. So at this value or less, you have a 95 plus another 2.5%. You get 97.5%. So now that we have the t-score, we need to find the EBM, and now it's going to be my t-score, which is F8, times my distribution standard deviation, which would be S over root n. So that's going to be C8 divided by the square root of C10. And there's my EBM. Now my mean then, or my mean minus the EBM is C6 minus F9. That's the mean minus the EBM. And then the upper bound would be C6 plus F9. So there's my upper bound. Now, with confidence intervals, you always want to write a sentence. So we can say with 95% confidence, the true average number of blossom beetles per square yard is between that 30.8662 and 34.09033. I hope this makes sense. If you're using a normal distribution, The only thing that changes really is that we would use a population standard deviation here, so that'd be a dot p, and a t-score, instead of using a t-inverse, you would use equals norm dot inverse, and then do the same probability. Other than that, these are the same. If you have any questions, leave them in the comments, and I'd be glad to help. Thanks for watching.